To Alexis Zotos, who's been monitoring events this evening in Ferguson, near the Ferguson Police Department. Alexis, has anything changed since we talked to you last?
Yeah, Steve, so we actually just drove a few blocks to give you that other perspective of what is happening here. So you can see a large crowd of protesters is gathered at Paul Drive in South Florissant. This is about 2 blocks south of the police department. This is where a lot of the businesses are, some of the popular restaurants and here in Ferguson. And you can just see that there is a gathering of people here in the street. We can tell you that this is the direction that we saw some of the fireworks coming from over here. At this point, we can't see the police line from where exactly we are standing from our vantage point. But we are just giving you a live look of what we're seeing of people in the street. You know, police have told protesters that they need to disperse. Police have said that they will utilize tear gas to deter those from using fireworks. You know, this is a day, all day long, that there were peaceful protests around the Ferguson area. A peace rally was out here. And then this is where things have started to take a turn, and this is the concern that police have, is the people that have come later in the evening, and now it looks like some activists are moving I believe that's like a traffic thing.
Yeah, that's a traffic sign, a road sign.
Yeah, it's a road sign. Thank you, Steve. You can see that there's a group of people that are messing with it right now, looking like it's going to get toppled over or be brought into the street here.
And if you can clarify,
right now we don't see any police. Go
Alexis,
ahead, Lauren.
I wanted to clarify here, and as these folks obviously are about to tip over this road sign and do some damage to that sign there, I mean, there is a curfew right now in Ferguson, has been in effect for a number of hours, so these folks are all obviously in violation of that. Things getting more violent there, Alexis?
Correct. Lauren, it is getting more violent. We're going to back up a bit. You know, the curfew is in place, and this is exactly what they said. They were fine with people remaining in the street, even outside the police department for at least an hour after the curfew went into place. But this is why they put that curfew into place. They were hopeful to be able to deter the people that were coming out here, not to protest really the injustice of George Floyd, but that might want to take this into a different direction. You know, we heard a lot of frustration from both police, from the county prosecutor, from fellow protesters about those who last night turned what was a day-long peaceful protest into something different later in the evening. Now again, we are at Paul Drive in South Florissant. This is right next to some of the businesses and restaurants here in the Ferguson area, and this is shut down by protesters and activists right now. They have knocked over that traffic sign, have done damage to it. You can see some of that damage is still happening. However, police have not moved in. Police are you can hear people saying, "Don't do that. Don't do that," is what people are saying right now.
Well, Alexis. That's the give and go. That's the give and tug between people who are out there to protest and other people who seem more bent on destruction. Let me ask you something. I know you spoke with Mayor James Knowles about the curfew. What did he say about that?
So, the mayor. Oh, we've got windows being broken here. Yeah. You know, we just saw a protester say, "Don't do that over here at this corner." This is Marley's Bar and Grill at the corner. I believe they were one of the businesses that was damaged. And now there's more damage happening to this corner, which I'm pretty sure that's Ferguson Brewery right there.
What corner? Exactly what corner are you at, Alexis? Corner of?
We are at Paul. Yes. We're Paul in South Florida.
All right, Alexis Zotos and
right.
Photographer on the move right now in Ferguson. We'll find out the latest, what's happening there. Right now we want to head to. And Alexis, when we last left you, we heard a loud bang and a lot of people running. Do it.
And you're still
And
seeing
it's
that,
sing
Steve.
again, yeah.
Okay, so I want to let you know we are okay. Our crews are safe. We are monitoring this situation. If you take a look, I'm going to step out of the camera. So what we witnessed was, oh my God, it looks like there's a fire. If you look at the window right here, it looks like there's a flame.
That's the establishment at the corner that they were working on the windows just a few minutes ago?
Yeah, but I can't tell. It's hard to tell from our vantage point. Like we said, I think that might have just been a reflection of a light, but it's really difficult to tell you. But what we can tell you is that windows were smashed there. That's Ferguson Brewery there, the corner of Paul and South Florissant. If you look at the windows over here at that business, you can see there's a ton of broken glass on the ground. Steve, I have no idea what that loud boom was. I really can't tell you. But it scattered the vast majority of protesters. And if you see here, police have now come into the area. For quite a bit, there were no police right over here, but you can see the officers have made their way around the building. And they're checking inside the building right now, probably looking to see what was thrown inside. But as you can see, the vast majority of protesters just scattered from that intersection. Now, I can tell you there are multiple people here that are telling people, don't do that. Don't do that. Those are the words that we overheard. You know, a lot of these businesses have been here for years. Many of them have withstood damage from past protests, and some of them are seeing damage here again tonight.
Alexis, if I can just recap for folks here, I just want you to keep an eye on the scene. Obviously, your safety is our #1 priority, but as you kind of get a chance to look around there, for folks who might just be joining us right now, our crew, Alexis Sotos, is in Ferguson right now. There had been peaceful protests there, of course, yesterday, and then there was some damage, significant damage and significant action last night. Today, some more peaceful protests, a curfew that went into place at 8 o'clock, and then around 9 o'clock or so, police told the crew that was the protesters that were gathered at the police department to disperse, and many of them, in fact, did. And then they moved to this area that Alexis is at now. This is at Paul Avenue and Florissant Road. Near that area. She said she's near Ferguson Brewing Company there, where there has been some significant activity tonight. Alexis, there was a sign that was damaged, and then shortly thereafter, within 10 minutes of that, there was many windows broken. It sounded like some loud booms, and now the police, as you can see here on this live video, are moving in to kind of check out the scene. But certainly, again, as we saw last night in Ferguson, a kind of a quick turn where things, really are, they seem like they're going to be peaceful for a few moments, and then they turn. And I know in one of your shots there, Alexis, we did see a person with a baseball bat. Are you seeing any other types of, I know yesterday a hammer was used, any other types of implements that would be concerned? As we take a look at here at Sky Zoom 4 from that intersection where you are, Alexis, kind of give us the scene setter there of what you're seeing right now.
Sure. So you just really summed up a lot of what we are seeing here tonight in Ferguson. There is a police line that is now formed here at Paul Avenue. They are standing in front of that business, which we witnessed people smashing the windows of, and people have dispersed. If you look, you can really see the damage of the road sign that was knocked into the street, and there's just cars, I think, kind of trying to figure out where they are, since so many of the protesters that were on foot dispersed from the area. So we're standing here right now watching these officers that have now formed a line here at Paul Avenue, guarding now these businesses that have seen destruction here tonight. It really is a small group of protesters compared to what we saw earlier in the day. And Lauren, we're really just kind of watching this with you all. So more police and a fire truck are coming from this direction coming up to the intersection where much of the damage was happening. We are staying back because if police use any form of disbursement techniques, tear gas, we would like to keep our crews away from that. Our crews are okay right now, but you can see, of course, Ferguson Fire Department is showing up on the scene at this moment.
And I know you mentioned that you were
damage.
trying to determine whether or not they were potentially trying to set that building on fire. Certainly that's something we saw yesterday, where there were certain individuals who were trying to do that at the police department. Isn't that right?
And I do think that it was just a reflection of the light in the window, but there was a moment there that it did look like a fire, but there's not. That's not something, we haven't seen any smoke or anything like that, so that's not something. Okay, we are going to be moving back now. It looks like protesters are being dispersed and that officers, we're going to send this back to you guys while we get to a safe location.
Okay, we are.